Hi everyone. So I got a comment on our most recent YouTube video. Says great video coach. Please can you do a session on chord substitution and extension? Shout out to you, Sammy. You inspired today's video. We'll get into this after the introduction. All right. So as I'm talking to Sammy, I'm talking to everyone. Thank you all for being here. So what is chord extension? We're going to go straight into the principle of chord extension. So watch this. Your major scale serves as the harmonic source for the tones used in chord formation. So take a look at this. Your chord will usually consist of the first, third, fifth, and seventh tones of the major scale. So if you take a look at this chord, we have the 1, 3, 5, and 7 of the C major scale. Now, what are the tones omitted in the C major scale in the process of the formation of the C major chord? The tones omitted are D, that's in between the C and the E. And in between the E and the G, we've got the F. And in between the G and the B, we have the A. So if you understand the tones that have been skipped, you can really appreciate the extensions. And here's what I mean. The D that was skipped between the C and the E is going to be the next tone. And after the D, the next tone would be the F. And after the F, the next tone would be the A. So the question is, the tones that were skipped on the first octave, what are you doing with them? Because you can't throw the second, the fourth, and the sixth tones away. So it's highly recommended that you take the tones of the major scale that was skipped on the first octave and you move them to the second octave. You skip the D, you skip the F, and you skip the A. So when you put these tones D, F, and A on top, you call them extensions because they are larger than the compass of an octave. In music theory, anything that exceeds the compass of an 8 is described as a compound interval. So this is a simple interval all the way up to the octave. So the octave is 8, and beyond the 8, we've got the 9. Can you see the 9? So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. 15 is the largest number because it spans for 2 octaves. So look at this. It goes C, and you go 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And when you come back to the 15, that's the repetition. 2 octaves in music is 15. 1 octave is 8. That's how it works. So take a look at this. Within the first octave, you have the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7 within the compass of the first octave. Anything that goes beyond that first octave is referred to as an extension. And this is true. If you look at the human hand, the average human hand, it's hard to extend beyond the octave and maybe play. You can do this with just one hand. So extensions are basically compound intervals that are added to a chord. I'll tell you what you use them for, okay? So let me explain the principle of extension versus the principle of, okay, let's stick with the extension. Talk about addition another day. Hi, I'm your last piano teacher. My name is Onyemachi Chuku. And if you're enjoying this live stream, you want to leave a comment in the comment section and tell me what you want to learn next. I want to bring what you love to this live stream. And if you can kindly introduce yourself and let me know where you're tuning in from, and I'll be happy to give you a shout out, even if you're watching this as a playback. But thanks to everyone watching live. So let's go back to the content. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7. What is the first skip? The first skip is the second tone. What is the first skip? The first skip is the D. The second tone has been skipped. The second tone has been skipped. Now, if you want to understand what the second tone is going to show up as, you have to add the number 7. So the magic number here is 7. So the second tone, 2 plus 7, it will show up as a 9. The fourth tone has been skipped. 4 plus 7 will show up as the 11 up here. What's the last skip? The A, the 6th tone. Who can tell me? Let's do the math. 6 plus 7 is what? Is 13. So the tones that have been skipped within the octave, the second, the fourth, and the 9, and the, oh my goodness, I missed that. The second, the fourth, and the 6th tones of the major scale are known as what? Extensions when they are played or when they're added to 7 chords. And you describe them as 9s, 11s, and 13s. Let's say that one more time. 9s, 11s, and 13s. Shout out to you, Miss Tricia from Missouri. Good to see you. Thank you, Lincoln. Says you were very helpful to me. Good. Thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up and let's crack on. All right. So this is still your last piano teacher. All right. So the second tone, that's your 9. The fourth tone, that's your 11. The 6th tone, that's your 13. I told you about the magic number 7. The second tone is your 9. The fourth tone, that's your 11. The 6th tone, that's your 13. So you have 3 diatonic extensions. We have chromatic extensions. When you hear about the sharp 9, the flat 9, we'll get into all of that in another live stream. Okay, so what are the 3 extensions? What are the 3 extensions? What are the 3 tones we're skipping? The second, the fourth, and the 6th. And my job is to do the math. The second is the 9th. The fourth is the 11th. And the 6th is the 13th. In other words, if I'm doing this C minor chord, C minor 7, and I add the 4th tone, that's a C minor 11. That's a C minor 11 chord. So second tone, that's your 9. 4th tone, that's your 11. 6th tone, that's your 13. Let me quiz you. Second tone is what? You got that, 9. 4th tone is what? 4 plus 7. That's your 11th. And 6th tone is what? The 6th tone, 6 plus 7. That's your 13. So it's very easy. If this is a C, if this is a C dominant 9 chord, how do you make it a 13? 2, 4, 6. Which is the 13th? The 6th tone. So once we add the 6th tone to C, it becomes the 13th chord. Let's start with the 9. The 9 is the second tone. 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 And if you're wondering why, take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If 8 is the repetition of the first octave, 8. If 8 is a repetition of 1, then 9 is the 2. So 9 is the second tone. What's the 9 of all F chords? Well, if you know the F major scale and you remember what the second tone of the F major scale is, which is G, you understand what a 9th chord, what an F 9th chord is. Could be dominant, could be major, could be minor. Second tone, that's my 9th. So if I'm hearing 9 chords, there's nothing so special or mysterious about 9 chords. It's basically a chord that contains what material? The second tone of the scale. What's the second tone of the D major scale? What's the second tone of D? Let me know in the chat. Let's blow up the chats. Everyone, what's the second tone of the D major scale? Who can tell me? Second tone of the D major scale. I'm looking at a chat right now. Boom! The second tone of the D major scale is E. So all D chords with an E are major ninth chords. So take a look at this. This is D major. With the E, it becomes a ninth. That's how it works. So how do I know when an A chord is a ninth? It's an A chord with a B. So if I have an A chord and I add a B, I'm going the ninth route. A minor 7 with the B, that's the ninth. A major 7 with the B, A major ninth. So the second tone is the 9. The fourth tone is the 11. How do I know a C chord is an 11 chord? A C chord with an F. The fourth tone is your 11. So how do you know a D chord is an 11 chord? What is the fourth tone of D? The fourth tone of D is G. So a D chord with that fourth tone, which is G, is an 11 chord. An A chord with a D, that's an 11 chord. What do you think of an A chord with a D? 11 chord. What do you think of a D chord with a G? So when a chord has the fourth tone of the major scale in it, that chord is an 11 chord. And lastly, the sixth tone. What is the sixth tone of the A major scale? The sixth tone of the A major scale, F sharp. An A chord with an F sharp is a 13th chord. It's a 13th chord. Now, before we close, I'll give you a very simple rule. For major and dominant chords, use your 9th and 13th. So if you have a C major 7, you can add your 9, you can add your 13. These extensions can work and make the chord sound better. And for minor chords, you can add the 9 and 11. So major chords, 9th and 13th. Here's C major 7th. I can add the 13th. I can add the 9. So look at this. Can you see this C major chord? It's a C major 7 chord, but I added the 9. What's the 9? Second tone of C. What's the 13? The sixth tone of C. So make me over again. One more time. Make me over again. Make me over. What do you think of a D chord that contains a second tone of D? That's a 9th chord. Over again. What's the second tone of E? The second tone of E is F sharp. I can go ahead and add an F sharp to this chord. Make me over again. Make me over again. How do you know a C chord is a 9th chord? Contains the second tone. So when you hear 9, 11, and 13s, those are the diatonic extensions. 9s, 11s, and 13s. All the best, everyone. And don't forget to leave a comment and ask me anything you want to learn about piano playing and you want to have a very good understanding. And if you want to give it a try, text coach to 949-356-9250 to join our daily Zoom sessions. at the VIP coaching program. Looking forward to seeing you in class. But don't forget to also hit the like and the subscribe button. Let's grow this community. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. I'll see you again in the next video.